All those radio and television stations, yes, that get the Amber Alert, yes. So is the Federal Parent Locator Service for purposes of identifying the whereabouts of a parentally abducted child. Now, it's an obvious, yes, child abduction, right? When my wife falsifies a police report on Guam, leaves the territory, yes, moves to Clallam County, and then you keep issuing protection orders where the false accusation of domestic violence and child abuse. Now, I'm going to want to know all the federal parent locator services. Yes. In fact, give me every federal locator service. Doctor. Now, when I email radio stations, television stations, and newspapers, yes, that my rights are being violated and my sons are kidnapped, yeah, for some reason, no one thought, yes, that you could commit a crime. Now, the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction Act, yes, civil remedy, yep, to combat parental abduction, yes. The jurisdictional statute governs when a court has jurisdiction over parental abduction case, and attempts to prevent the occurrences of simultaneous proceedings in two different states. It would be kind of like, yes, me going through a proceeding on Guam, yes, while at the same time you having court proceedings in Qualm County. So you can't have two, yes, attempts to prevent the occurrence of simultaneous proceedings in two different states. You cannot have the jurisdiction of Guam having the arrest. Yes. The diversion. Right. And the stipulation and order. Ouch! While at the same time having proceedings in Washington state. Now, this is very relevant because there's this thought, yes, that when my wife petitioned the court, she had no intention of me ever getting notice of court hearings. It's kind of like arresting me, yes, without the intention of having a trial. Oh, it's kind of like, yes, fabricating false evidence against the parent, yes, that has had their children kidnapped and abducted, yes, so that you can aggravate the kidnapping, yes, and find yourself in prison for a very long time. Now, this idea, yes, of simultaneous proceedings in two different states. Yes. When I'm on trial on Guam, yes, and you're issuing a protection order right now, it it seeks, yes, attempts to prevent the occurrence of simultaneous proceedings in two different states. Kind of like petitioning the court for a dissolution of marriage in Guam, in Idaho, in California. Yeah, while at the same time the parent moves to another jurisdiction and motions the court for dissolution. Now, some variation in all 50 states. Yes, another one of these federal laws that you're violating. Ouch. See, when my wife petitioned the court, yes, yeah, 3 days later she had me arrested. Oh, she served me the dissolution of marriage, and then at the same time they took me to jail. Yes, they did. I was arraigned. Right, I got out of jail. Let's go ahead. And then for some reason, when I responded within the 90 days, you never obligated proof of service again. No, no, no. Now, when you issued the decree of dissolution of marriage, I didn't receive a copy of it. No, but I've been under the threat of imprisonment. Yes, for failure to pay child support. Yes, because you as a court cannot well, see. There's some national estimates of parental abduction cases which were opened by prosecutors and in which criminal charges were filed. Yes, law enforcement agencies use of management information systems, written policies and procedures in responding to parental abduction reports. Yes. Now, these management information systems of law enforcement, yeah, why don't we go through all 1.2 million of them, inclusive of the Forest Service, yes, the police in the railroads, yeah, and any and all individuals in the ports right now. Now, staffing characteristics and administrative resources. Oh, Staff participation in formal training or special programs addressing parental abduction. Yeah. Parental abduction case flow through the criminal justice system. Yeah. Characteristics of cases in which law enforcement intervene by investigating, yes, and or filing criminal complaints. Oh, and then the model approaches to the handling of parental abduction cases. Yes. Now you would have thought after 3 million emails, somebody would have filed a missing child report. Now, National Representative Survey of Law Enforcement Agencies and Prosecutors' Offices. Yes. Site visits to 6 counties where a larger than average number of parental abduction cases were prosecuted. Yes. Now, this parental abduction that you say is non-existent? Yes. It is existing. Yes. And my thought is that this county might be one of those 6 counties, yes, where a larger number of parental abductions have happened, yes, because of your refusal to acknowledge the rights of parents. Now, let's say I went through the state of Washington. You did not feel any compulsion, yes, as law enforcement, to recognize that when the petitioner petitioned the court for dissolution of marriage, yes, and I responded because you served me, yes, you did not obligate me to have any further notice of court hearings. Why don't you get me every dissolution in Clallam County, yes, in Jefferson County, and every county of the state of Washington, yes, where the individual named as a respondent did not get notice of court hearings. See, your counties, yes, seem to think that if it's in the or on the Washington State website, yes, Washington State Supreme Court website, yes, and I'm computer literate and can see when there's a court hearing, yes, I should just go to court on that day. Now, I heard, yes, prosecutors say, well, he did know there was a court hearing on August 21st of 2017. But the problem was, yes, that when I informed law enforcement that I wanted to know what the district court case was that was on the public court record for August 8th of 2017, no one felt a need to give me notice of court hearings. Yes, it's almost as if you'd rather arrest somebody for failure to appear. When you know they're homeless. Yes. The traffic citation said I was homeless. Yes. You did know I was staying at the homeless shelter. Right. I had no address. Yes. And the police brutality right now of wanting the arrest for failure to appear instead of serving the individual. Now, I have communicated every day for the last 3.5 years. Yes. And I informed you, yes, that my sons are missing, abducted, and kidnapped. And that your dissolution of marriage, yes, violates each and every state. Now, the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction Enforcement Act, yes, adopted unanimously by the National Conference of Commissioners on Uniform State Laws, approved by the American Bar Association in 1998, yes, amends the UCCJA to bring into conformity, yes, the Parental Kidnapping Prevention Act of UCCJEA. Yes. Now, for some reason, you thought that I was going to motion the court. That was my only remedy. Yes. That I can motion the court.